Hello friends, I have decided to do something very different for my channel.
Something good?
But seems like it's going around the neighborhood, and I am going to give it a shot with my top 25 cards in my collection, so stick around.
You're only doing things because everyone else is.
Hello friends, I am John, and I am the 3D 80s kid. So for a lot of these videos in the neighborhood, you're seeing folks who have been active vintage collectors for a great number of years and have amassed quite an impressive array of what are very expensive cards that in many cases are now worth much more than they originally paid for them. And so what I am having to offer here is something very different.
I'm afraid I'd suffer by comparison,
as I did not start collecting vintage until 2022. So we're talking 2 years of collecting vintage cards, and what have I been able to put together in that time. And it's going to be a very differently priced list from the other folks out there.
You know, this is the low rent district.
But one of the things I did recently that allowed me to do this is I got a membership for VCP. Why would I do this? As I am someone who has really not cared about the value of my cards after I purchased them. I viewed the cost as being the obstacle to attaining, and it's going to be my wife's issue to unload these when I die, is basically my approach to collecting. But why did I do that? It was mostly for the fact that I am on a big mission for a Babe Ruth card this year.
We're on a mission from God.
And as such, I am looking for cards that generally do not transact very often, and it's primarily from auction houses. And in order to pull the data of these transactions, it is really labor intensive without a tool like VCP. And so that was my motivation for enlisting in the membership. And of course, then while I'm at it, since I have it, I went ahead and started the process of getting my cards into this system. So then they're even cataloged for me in this format that I have with me now on my phone, as opposed to what I normally, I still track everything with my Excel spreadsheet on my computer, but now I have access to all the cards I own on my phone in the various listings of the separation of my collection by different types and all that you can do with this app. So that is where I'm at now. So I'm using now the data I was able to easily pull, because you can export your entire list as a CSV file, which is, you can open it in Excel and then have the whole long list and do filtering, sort on value, and figure out your order of your cards in this way very quickly. So I figured, what the hell, why not make one of these videos?
Why the hell not?
The other thing I'm going to do that is I'm going to give it a shot. I've never done this before because we're really focused on seeing the cards and seeing them well so I can show you my cards. I am going to try to be a hand model for the card portion of the video here. So I'm going to be flipping the camera around and giving that a shot. We'll see how it goes.
Wait, what is this? Bizarro world?
All right, so let me flip this camera around and we will get started with my top 25 cards currently. Well, these graded cards in my collection. Hey superstars, it's your best friend John here. Oh, wait, that's not what I'm here to do. Number 25, I have got the 1958 Topps Willie Mays in an SGC 1.5, which has a VCP average price of $79.47. So all the numbers I will be giving are VCP averages, which in some cases I'll explain to you why that's not necessarily such a good thing, but it gives us a starting point to order these things anyway. So up next, 1968 Topps Willie Mays in an SGC 4.5. I think you're going to notice a little bit of a theme during this list here. We've got 1959 SGC2 Willie Mays. By the way, the last card was $84.36, and this one is $85.25. Up next, 1957 Topps Willie Mays in an SGC1, and that one is $85.47. And look at that. It's not Willie Mays. It is Bob Feller in 1953 Bowman Color in an SGC2, which is $89.32. Another beautiful Bowman color from 1953 with Roy Campanella in an SGC4, and that is valued at $92.33. Back to our friend Willie with a 1962 Topps in an SGC4, and we have cracked 3 digits now at $104.80. Off to football with 1981 Topps Joe Montana rookie and an SGC6 at $105.07. Over to one of my favorite sets here with 1960 Topps Hank Aaron at an SGC 3.5, and that is valued at $105.86. We got the 52 Topps set with Bob Lemon in an SGC 3, and that one is valued at $110. Clearly a case where the popularity of the set drives the value on that one, as Lemon is a relatively unknown Hall of Famer for most people. Now we're going to pre-war here with a 1928 Yuengling's Ice Cream SGC 1.5 of Bill Terry, but of course the picture, it's an uncorrected error, as the picture is of Zeb Terry, a picture that first appeared on cards in 1917 of Zeb Terry, second baseman for the Cubs, as opposed to the Hall of Fame first baseman for the Giants. Again with pre-war, we've got a 33 Gaudy Carl Hubble with the authentic of SGC, and that one is valued at $111.50. I forgot to mention the Bill Terry was $111.38. Again, with pre-war, I have got a 1934 Gaudy Hazen Kai Kyler in an SGC2. That was Hazen Kai Kyler in an SGC2, valued at $120. Back to our friend Willie with a 1956 Topps SGC1 and valued at $130.17. And a 1970 Topps Willie Mays in an SGC6, and that one is valued at $130.23. We've got a 1913 Napoleon Lajoie game card in an SGC8 that is valued at $131.48. Back to 1960 Topps and Willie Mays here with an SGC4, and that one is valued at $133.25. Willie again, his final card in the countdown with 1955 Topps SGC1, valued at $151. Back to 1934 Gaudy with Lefty Grove in an SGC1. This one's valued at $152.83. Back to 1960 Topps, last card I will be showing, and that is Mr. Mickey Mantle in an SGC1. This is a beautiful front with the scrapbook back. And this one is technically valued at $163.22. Now, this is a case like this and many of the ones and authentics where, you know, this one has a higher eye appeal and is quite the range of ones out there. And, you know, I don't think necessarily that VCP averages necessarily do those types of cards justice. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. It makes it easier to sort and do this countdown, but whatever. Up next, we are back to pre-war with a 1926 W512 Rogers Hornsby, also in an authentic, and this is valued at $166.47. And now we are at 1921 with a W551 Tris speaker in an SGC 1.5. This one is valued at $201. And now 1956 Topps Ted Williams in an SGC 2.5. And this one is valued at $204.88. Love how sharp this one is. Love it with the grade being fully driven down by the OC, but the picture is just so gorgeous. And next, I am going non-sport here with a 1932 U.S. Caramel Franklin D. Roosevelt in an SGC2. Now, this is a case where the VCP value is, in fact, the price I paid, because this card has only transacted the one time in this year. And looking through the entire 14-year history on VCP, it only transacts an average of once per year, as this is a low population card that many collectors of this presidential set just hang on to it forever. So you don't see these hitting the marketplace very often. So technically it is valued at $225. And the final card in my countdown is the same card that I viewed as my biggest pickup of the year, and that was this 1919-21 W514 Walter Johnson authentic card, and it is valued at $228.88. Another case where it does not transact often enough, and what I paid is the current average value. So there we go, my number one card currently in my collection. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.